Hi Aries, welcome to your June 2021 tarot reading. It's Raina here. So if you're interested in finding out the astrological goings on, or is it going ons, goings on in June, I've recorded one for your sign. So check my channel. If you're subscribed, it should be there. But, tell you the truth, you might have to look for it. Enough said. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let's see what is going on for June. Because this is eclipse season, I'm not going to get into it in this reading. I usually do, but you can listen for that because it's much easier just to tune into the tarot reading for itself. Okay. So we've got a couple of queens here. And queens can be mothers, or if, this can be like if this is you, Aries, that you're thinking about becoming a mother or even a grandmother. I could see that too because it's the nurturing that really matters. And with like an Aries grandmother, the thing that may be going through your mind is, I've kind of put in my time, and do I have to be like a built-in babysitter, that kind of thing. I mean, that sounds terrible, but I could see like an Aries, it doesn't have to be just a woman, it could be a man. Even if you love your grandchildren and you love your children, that you want your freedom, maybe you want to travel. And if your adult child wants you close to them, there could be like moving issues. It's a whole thing, let's face it. And definitely when we get into Cancer season, see, I couldn't help myself, I had to talk about astrology. The home and family become very, very involved. So at the end of June into July, that kind of thing becomes front and center in your life in some way. Now, this could be your own mother. These people, this could be the evolution of you as somebody who is kind of breaking free of the apron strings, even though I can't think of Aries people who are tied to their parents. You pretty much very independent people. So at the heart of the reading is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles relates to the earth element. So this can be a very good card for finances and for maybe working at home, because this is connected to the home front, and that maybe having a business from the home, or if you are somebody who works for somebody else and you were working remotely, but you're deciding whether or not to go back into that office environment, you could have a lot of back and forth within yourself about that, because one of the benefits of going out is that you get that space from that home. And that might be something that an Aries person really craves if you've been kind of forced into staying at home all the time. I'm sure this is coming up for a lot of people besides Aries, but with Aries, with a fire sign type of person, it can be the exact opposite of what a lot of people are, kind of agonizing over, where you might be more inclined to be away from the home, but maybe if you've been taking care of your child instead of having outside help, you've seen that you're bonding better with your child, or your child is benefiting from it. And so that might be the part that is problematic, or just simply a home-based business. I mean, this could be like even what came into my mind is resting on your laurels, and I just mean retirement. Depending on what stage of life you're in, there might be something else that is more important to you at this time. If you are a woman and you're in a relationship, you may be providing the finances in the family, and like you're the breadwinner, and that could be what is going on. But this is a very, like I said, this is a very good money card regardless. In the past position, we have the Four of Swords. So this is a card of rest and retreat and rejuvenation. So with these two cards combined, I even think of somebody who is going through a marital separation, or again with the work angle of being, maybe working for somebody else, but having that downtime. And now that there's talk of like going back, you might be physically restored, but you still are not sure that you want to go back into the fray. The higher message is the Two of Pentacles. This is a card you can see of having to make a choice between two things. And the things that you might have to be making a choice between are the way that you want to earn money. Sometimes this can be like somebody who is juggling two things in life and they're very busy. So an example would be like working two jobs. They even say like moonlighting or something like that. So with the Queen of Pentacles, it might be indicated to begin a home-based business if you are somebody who works outside of the home, so that you always have this alternative. If you are in a situation, if to have this flexibility between whatever somebody is demanding of you, or the expectations of you versus what you want for yourself. Because maybe those things you're finding frustration, where you're being expected to do things that you don't feel are fair or reasonable. And maybe you just have gotten spoiled with your freedom and autonomy, and you don't want to go back to that former way of being. So you're kind of on the fence, but you're not sure that you'll be able to have that option. You might have to quit in order to do something like that. If this is anything connected to a personal relationship, so if you have separated from your spouse and you are kind of keeping everything together, maybe if you're the dominant parent, or the parent that is the main caretaker, you may be taking care of everything, the money and the raising of the child, and you may think, I don't need that person because they're not really contributing much of anything to my life. They're giving me a lot of problems with their behavior, just the way that they're conducting their life, and I don't need that, and they're also not contributing to our household. So you might feel like I can do this by myself, but you may still feel that you have to take your children into account or something like that. And the card that is crossing you is the Ace of Swords. So this is a card that can speak about new beginnings, but I feel like, and sometimes they talk about, I'm talking about in the upright position, so I'm reading it in the reversed position, but in the upright position, sometimes they talk about this idea of, some kind of success or victory that comes after maybe a very negative or trying experience. And that's okay, and that kind of works for me. But my feeling is that in addition to that this is a card about being in denial when it's in the challenge position. So how I see it is that the person may be overly idealistic, and Aries people can have, some of you have inner planets in Pisces, like Mercury, for example. Any of, you could definitely have the moon in Pisces, and that can also affect things. But I'm talking about the inner planets that are connected to, your date of birth, and that can lead to, wishful thinking more times than not. So being very aware of how you view anything in your life is so important, because when you're making a decision, if the Two of Pentacles is correct and you are making a decision, you have to make it based on what is really in front of you, not the highest ideal. If, the person that you're with is acting at their greatest, not how they typically act. Or if you're in a work situation, trying to characterize why they're asking you to do something with the most high-minded reasons. When in fact, an Aries person is going to naturally be a positive thinker. So you don't like to think of, that people have ulterior motives, because you're pretty transparent. But the problem is that a lot of times people seem to have, I don't want to say a lot of times, but it certainly isn't uncommon for people to have ulterior motives. And we have to see things as they are in order to make the right decisions. And oh, good. I didn't even, when I pick these cards, a lot of times I'm not even paying attention to what they are. But what's coming in is the Ace of Wands. Here you go. This is your energy. So this is you enthusiastic about the new beginning that you're making, the kind of you're choosing autonomy. So if I had to say, if you're like deciding on a relationship, I would say that, after the month of June, you may decide that you are going to be on your own. Only because you may feel that your independence is more important than anything else. And so whether this is a work matter or a relationship matter, you may decide to do something along those lines. And actually, we're going to have Mars go into Leo, your ruler go into Leo, in the month of June. And that is an energy that is very charged with confidence and independence. So that can be very good for somebody who is trying to, make a change in their life. The outcome is the Queen of Wands. This kind of reiterates what I said. I actually connect this to Leo because of the sunflower. It's supposed to be Sagittarius. So we did have a lunar eclipse in Sag in May. Now this could be still echoing its influences in June. For you, this is the 9th house, which is the house of the higher mind, and it is the house of all things that have to do with a person's philosophical belief system. So there might be something like an aha moment that has occurred for you, Aries, that has been a source of guidance in making an important decision that is before you in June. And when I look at the numerology of June, this is an 11 month, which is a master number. This is about walking through those two pillars, 2 ones. And here you are, the first house. But with the 1-1, it's like that enhanced idea of individuality and walking through the portal. We do have Mercury retrograde until the 22nd, so it can feel like sometimes it's not that easy to start new things, or that it's not necessarily advised. You have to decide for yourself if that rings true for you based on how it feels. But definitely by the end of June, we're going to start to feel like things are progressing. And all of these things, this new beginning with the Ace of Wands, may feel like such a relief. Like, the look at these, the card of what is to come and the outcome are both fire energies. So that's a confirmation about you stepping into your own power. All right, that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope you have a great month. Thanks for watching. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.